Welcome to Coffee Confessions. Our topic today is the Me Too movement, which is an international movement against sexual harassment and abuse.
Andheri somewhere, we called like 10-15 models. Most of them came in a very revealing clothes and all that stuff.
These days, there's a lot of talk about it on the social media as well as in the news.
Right throughout in the papers, and when you read it in the morning, you get a little sick feeling in the stomach as to what's wrong with people in the world, you know?
Do you think there is more stigma attached to men when they have to report harassment than it is on women?
Absolutely. You're talking about men being a victim?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they are victimized as well.
Yes.
But we never hear of them as often.
No, because it's kind of, I think the stereotype that goes with men that, oh, you know, they're the better sex and the weaker sex and all that. So I think it's a taboo for the men to probably play a victim in the hands of a men or women, both. So yeah, it's a taboo. And I think we need to come out of it, and then any kind of exploitation, any gender needs to be reported.
And for you, for example, do you know of people who have been abused, and what were the actions taken on their behalf, or do you think their families were supportive? What happened?
Well, I can quote myself, not the workplace, but I was myself a victim of sexual abuse, but at a very early age of mine, so I didn't know what, I don't even know that it was a sexual abuse until I grew up and then kind of, oh, okay, that was inappropriate, you know.
How old were you?
10, 11.
Okay. So do you think we have to inform our children earlier on about what is a good touch, what's a bad touch, what is abuse?
Absolutely. So after all that, and I did have a word with my mother and told her that, you know, so this is something happened to me, and that you should have been aware of it. And she was aware of it, but she didn't take it in that sense, you know, oh, it's okay, you know, neighbor, uncle, and all that stuff. Nothing serious, but I'm talking about this very, very normal thing, but then, you know, at that time. So yes, because of that, what happened was the awareness, and now my brother's kids and sister's kids, they are completely aware of this.
Do you think more laws have to be put in place, more regulations as well?
I think there's enough law. What we lack is implementation of the law.
Correct.
For example, I can talk in Indian context.
Yeah.
Vishaka guidelines is one, there was a case in state versus Vishaka. And then way back in 1997, if I'm not wrong, the Supreme Court passed a judgment as to, they set up certain guidelines that every corporate needs to follow. But it kind of bettered in 2013 or something. Mm-hmm. It's there. For example, rape also.
Yeah.
The law is there, but the implementation is what kind of irritating or kind of frustrating people. And I think that's the main cause people kind of shy away from reporting also.
Correct. Have you faced anything personally that kind of relates to Me Too?
I actually have. It was around last year, and we were traveling. Me and my sister were traveling, and we went to the flight. We boarded the plane, and what happened, because the thing is, she's working for the airline. So as soon as she entered the plane, she was mingling with her colleagues, and I sat on my seat. So there were two guys who were sitting right next to me. We were in the middle aisle, and after a while, she came and sat next to me. So they did not know that she is with me, or she's my sister. So there was an incident where they were making some inappropriate gestures towards her, and which was very uncomfortable for me. So I had to stand up against it, because the thing is, it was my sister, obviously. Yeah. So I formally complained the staff, and they had to call the police.
Oh,
yeah. As soon as we landed, so the police was there.
According to you, as a man, how can we make things safer for people around, especially at work or even outside work? What are the things that we can do?
There's some basics which we need to follow. So the thing is, the law is already there. So the thing is, no one's following them. So even if you see an incident, if there's something wrong happening to a person, you actually just need to report it, or if you're not reporting it, actually just approach the person and tell them that you're wrong.
देखें, आप बस ऑनलाइन जाएं, वेबसाइट का नाम लिखें, ब्रांड के सारे प्रोडक्ट्स आ जाएंगे, एंड देन आप अपना फेवरेट प्रोडक्ट क्लिक करें, ऐड टू कार्ट, प्रोसीड टू चेक आउट, अपनी सारी डिटेल्स फिल करें एंड डन।
सीखने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती। Mahmood 500 Rise, bringing families together since 1979.
Do you think that because of the hashtag #MeToo, a lot of stories are coming over across the world? It's not just in the United States?
Absolutely. I think this is something, it's a topic that has been suppressed for many decades, and women have always felt subjugated. So, and it is not restricted to America. Just recently I read an article where Alia Bhatt, who's from Bollywood, has said that the casting couch is very prominent in this industry. So gradually this has given way for people to open up and speak. And they will not speak just out of the blue. There must have been something that must have been aching them all these years. So that anguish is coming out.
According to you, even here, do you think there should be more regulations on appropriate behavior, whether it's verbal or physical, in the workplace to protect?
Absolutely. I think a workplace is a place where we go to do something productive with our skills. It is not a place where we should feel demeaned. When there is inappropriate behavior there's a lot of humiliation of the person, productivity is lost, you feel small.
Do you think, because a majority of the stories are of women, do you think it's only a women's issue?
No, I don't think so. But I think this is the starting point where people will realize that if they come up with their stories, their true stories of anguish, of pain, of humiliation, they will be heard in the world. So this is just the beginning. Unfortunately, as we go further, there will be a lot of more dirt that will be pulled out, which might not be pleasant, but I think we need to vent it out.
When someone is facing abuse at the workplace, what would your advice be to them?
I would first look at the law in case I need to register a complaint, because that is something I would first do, whether they help me or not. I would contact the women's cell, because they are quite aggressive when it comes to such issues. And I think women have begun to open up. So I can just build up, they can just build up a complete strong workforce of women and take it forward. I don't think in any way we are smaller than them. So if we stand united, we can get the person to task.
How do you think each of us can make a difference?
Individually, we have to ensure that we are respectful, have dignity for the other person at the workplace. We do not discriminate among people based on the age, sex, race, religion, disability. Treat everyone with absolute respect. I think this is something that will help build a very cohesive, harmonious relationship at the workplace, at the home front, because charity begins at home. I think we need to inculcate the same values among our children, among our peers, among our siblings, so that the next generation has it easier than what we have had it.
Why did I even come here?
Oh, he doesn't care. He just ignored it.